My wife, Rosalynn, has never hit a nail with a hammer before, and she's in charge of a whole crew in the back of this same floor, putting down the flooring and subflooring. And she's measuring, cutting with power tools, and hammering down and making sure that the whole floor is right. So we have, I think, the kind of challenge that's exciting, completely unpredictable, and very gratifying.
Could you back up a little, Dart? Okay, right in here. Okay.
Okay, right now.
Hey, Dan. We're going to get right over here, man. We appreciate you doing across the street for us. Fine. Fine. Thank you. Okay, right in here.
That's the winner.
Right in here.
There we go.
Right over here. That's it.
That's the winner.
We should have had JB last.
Anybody else, man?
here, Virgil. Right over here, Virgil. So many around. Right here. Okay.
Going in.
Hello, you BBC?
ITN, sir.
Why don't we go up in front and do it? There's gonna be.
No, it's more active.
It's okay.
Mr. President, are you doing something out of office that in the end it was impossible to achieve in office?
No, I think the housing programs that we had when I was in office were very good and very much needed. We have plenty of need in our country and around the world, as a matter of fact, for both government and private entrepreneurs and also volunteers like this. So all three need to work together. Habitat for Humanity is a worldwide organization. We're now in 14 nations in all, with about 50 other projects in this country. So we're building about one house per day for people who don't have homes. We require each family who move into one of our homes to work 500 hours themselves on their house and the neighbor's house, and also be able to make the monthly payments without interest. The Bible says you shan't charge interest to people who are poor. So we believe in biblical economics. So by the time a family gets into a home, they've not only learned a fairly good carpentry trade and have a nice house and some happy neighbors, but they're also making monthly payments that we can use then to build new houses all over the world.
Having a former president working for a project like this obviously makes a huge impact on the project. What kind of impact do you think it makes on people's concept of the presidency?
Well, I don't know. I was a working man, before I went to the White House, and this is just like breathing for me. I make cabinets. I'm a cabinet maker, furniture maker, but I've done a lot of regular carpentry work on the farm where I grew up. So using hand tools and power tools and working with wood is something that I've done all my life.
There's obviously a very tough job. Looking at this building, there's clearly going to be a lot of work yet to be done.
Yeah.
Do you see parallels in the dedication you have to apply to this, to say your former colleague, Mr. Mondale, having to apply in his struggle?
Well, it's all, I think, a matter of having a clearly defined goal and doing your best to achieve it. We've brought 50 volunteers up here, mostly from Georgia, and so we will have put in about 2,500 man and woman hours in this project. And as you can see, it was just a dilapidated, burned out wreck when we got it. We'll have 19 happy families here. My wife, Rosalynn, has never hit a nail with a hammer before, and she's in charge of a whole crew in the back of this same floor, putting down the flooring and subflooring. And she's measuring, cutting with power tools, and hammering down and making sure that the whole floor is right. So we have, I think, the kind of challenge that's exciting, completely unpredictable and very gratifying.
You're doing this in the heart of somebody else's presidential campaign. Do you ever find yourself thinking about that campaign?
No, it's quite remote from here. You know, what I want is the kind of leaders in political life who care about people who need help, who encourage not excessive charity, but kind of a partnership. We very carefully avoid any image of being rich white folks who are handing out a nice gift to unfortunate and less intelligent and less worthy people. We make sure that before a home is finished, that it's an equal partnership. In fact, my boss on this floor just happens to be a black man who is a very experienced carpenter. I take my orders from him.
But are you telling me that 4 years on you're able to push that whole business of this terrible race for the presidency out of your mind?
Well, it wasn't terrible in the first place. It was an enjoyable race, although I've won some and lost some. But that doesn't have any unpleasant lingering memories for me at all. And I stay quite busy. Next week, for instance, we leave here tomorrow morning, and we'll get back home Sunday. And then next week I'll be teaching as a distinguished professor at Emory University, in the law school and other places. And we're having a major conference between the top chief executive officers of large corporations on the one hand and some environmental thinkers on the other. And then following that, a major health conference. I'm writing 2 books, one of which is about the Middle East, which will be published early in 1985. And I have an end of September deadline, so I stay quite busy. And my post-presidential life is really an enjoyable one, as was the 4 years in the White House.
Great.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. President.